I'm Jay.
I'm Adrian.
And together we are the
Two Crazy Cat Ladies.
I'm gonna cut you.
I think I just peed.
Buckle up. We're back in the closet.
Welcome to this very special episode of Back in the Closet with the Two Crazy Cat Ladies, where we are joined by the beautiful souls from the Animal Communication Collective, Karen, Meredith, Julie, and we are going to be doing they are going to be doing a reading with our very special orphan Annie, Annie Bell, Annie Olivia, our Annie, for her Annie-versary, which we're very excited about. Before I jump in with the backstory, I don't feel like any of you need an introduction. However, for new podcast listeners or new people on the platform who don't know who you are, let's just do a quick intro for each one of you guys so they can know a little bit more about your history and your background and your beautifulness and how you're changing the world everywhere. Meredith, let's start with you this time.
Hi. Thank you. We're so glad to be here. I'm Meredith Tollison. I am one of the directors of the Animal Communication Collective. I'm a soul level animal communicator, soul level intuitive coach. I'm also a certified dog trainer. I do animal Reiki, among lots of other things in my life. So I am committed and dedicated to doing great things for animals in our world to help it become a better place. So glad to be here with y'all.
Oh, we love you. We love you, Karen.
Hey everyone, so excited to be back. I'm seeing names in the chat that I know already. I'm super psyched about that. So I'm Karen, and I am also a founder and director of the Animal Communication Collective. We are doing fundraising events, all 100% volunteer, to help animals all around the world in rescues, sanctuaries, shelters. We'll talk about one maybe later afterward in the reading that we're doing tomorrow night, and in case anybody loves what they saw here and wants to join us tomorrow night. But I am an animal communicator, a soul level intuitive coach, which means I talk to spirit guides. I do some mediumship work. We were talking about that today on our podcasts that we do about what is mediumship and how does that work with the animals. And I also have an energy medicine background in a form of Qigong called Pangu Shengong that the animals help me use to talk to their humans about what might be going on in their bodies. But we are so excited to be here today for Annie-versary. And we were like honing in on her a little bit even before the show, right? And she was like doing some crazy antics because we were all kind of saying to her, please support us tonight. And I think she felt all that energy.
She's literally been in such rare form for the past couple hours. And we're like, oh, she knows. And I wondered if you guys were doing some connecting with her. I was like, something's going down. Julie, tell everyone about you.
Hey, everybody. I'm Julie here. I'm super excited to be here as well. I, just like Meredith and Karen, I am a certified soul level animal communicator and intuitive coach. I'm the social media director for the Animal Communication Collective. I'm going to be part of the event that we're having tomorrow night. And I'm also one of the co-hosts with these two fabulous women of the Animal Communication Podcast. And we interviewed this week. The episode is with Adrian and Jay, and you can find it on mindbodyspirit.fm, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. So take a listen and let us know what you think. So we had so much fun with that interview with both of you. It was really cool. Thank you.
It really was. It was amazing.
Illuminating, as always.
Yeah.
I just have to share this because Annie has been crazy all day, or at least definitely the last couple hours, like Jay just said. And I just took a picture of her just now. She is sitting behind. Why can't I see this?
She's sitting right behind me.
Sitting right behind her. Just
look at her.
Oh, she's holding space.
She's holding space.
I know you guys on the podcast can't see her, but she rarely sits still, this little wildcat of ours. And she has definitely.
She is just right behind me. This is so special. Okay, so for those of you guys, for a quick backstory of Annie, last year, almost a year ago, so it was March 19th of last year of 2023, we had just gone through a devastating loss, very sudden loss of our Pooh bear at 12 years old. He literally went from healthy to dead. It was shocking. Very shocking for us. And then his best partner in our heart cat, Oliver Twist, just took a downhill spiral from there. And a few weeks later, he also passed. Fast forward like just a couple weeks from there, I think we were 4 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. We were obviously consistently grieving, and we were trying to get out of the house and go in fresh air. And we went for a little bike ride around our community, and we found this little kitten on the side of the road, which has never happened in the 10 years that we've lived here, or the 20 years that we've lived in Las Vegas. We found this little kitten just shivering in fear underneath this tree. And it was Annie, and we brought her in, and we tried to find her home and all this stuff and things. And we were like, who is she and where did she come from? Because it is crazy how she looks exactly like Oliver Twist. But two, like, why would this happen so soon? Like, it's never happened before. Why would it happen right now? This is just, it's nuts. So we invited the beautiful ladies here from Animal Communication Collective onto our platform. And you can go back on YouTube and see that again.
I think watching that was fascinating.
Watching it back
reading
for
y'all did with her.
And I know you guys haven't gone back. You'll probably do it tonight. You haven't gone back and watched it yet, but
Not yet.
And we were just like fascinated with so many things that, like, at that time we were like, I don't know that even makes sense. A lot of it did, and it really brought comfort to us. But then there were other things that were like, I don't see that. I don't see this girl being that girl. Oh my God, she is so that girl. Like, I mean, it's so crazy. That girl.
It's crazy.
So yeah. So of course, a year later, we asked them to come back onto our podcast and do another reading, a check-in with Annie to see how she's doing, if she's happy now in our home, other than on the side of the street or wherever it was that she came from, and answer a few questions like, why does she pee on my face and stuff? So,
oh my God.
So
just bring it real.
Yeah, real. Actually, we've had so many DMs this past week being like, why does she do that? Why does she spray your desk? Why does she pee on your face? And I'm like, I don't know, but join us on Wednesday because we're meeting with the animal communicators and we will ask. We will see if she will answer that question for us. But so just so you know, that question's coming.
And before we dive in, I just want to say thank you to everyone joining us right now. So many of these names that I see are members of this beautiful community that were really there for us when we were going through such a really difficult time. And it just means the world that you guys are still part of our journey and are here to check in with Annie as well. And a shout out to Nika Love. Hello, my dear.
Yes.
I think we're going to mention you later.
Yes. So Karen, I kind of want to just like hand it over to you to like the show. And so I stop babbling and we get in touch with Annie.
So welcome, everyone. Yes, we are going to tap into Annie in a minute. I just want to reminisce for one more second, if possible, because I remember you guys posting on Instagram your little bike ride and holding this cat and live. And I was texting you going, oh my God, she's from Oliver Twist. You need to bring her home. Oh my God, we need to talk to Oliver Twist. So I just want to give a shout out to Oliver Twist for doing his job and managing that happened.
On that reminiscing, I have to say you are such a beautiful resource. All of you are what you guys do, such a gift. But I do remember because you did reach out to us that day when you saw us sitting on the side of the road with her. We were like, what, is she okay? Like what? And I remember you saying, I don't know. She said, I don't know why I'm out here.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm out here. And I just remember feeling like, oh, for sure, we're bringing her in. And we're posting her everywhere. And we're doing all the stuff and things. And we're bringing her in to get
just in case
scanned for a chip. And we're doing a snap test and all the stuff and things. But that was really an affirming moment for us. So
yeah. I mean, that's right. So we are going to connect with Annie, and we thought we'd invite you all to see who are live with us. You can do it with us. If you're watching this afterward, you can see how we do this. We're just going to do a really quick mini kind of setting our intention all together for the best and highest good of everyone. So we won't do this for long, but just a moment, just to put your hearts together. We do this in our readings privately with our clients as well, and where we just take a couple of breaths, quiet the minds and open the hearts. put a picture of Annie in your heart with a lot of love and joy, knowing that we're all coming together to support messages that will be helpful and healing and supportive to everyone who watches this live and in the future. And we thank Annie for guiding us tonight. And we also thank Oliver Twist and Pooh Bear for overseeing this and delivering Annie to you guys. I'm sure there's more there. I could feel them kind of warming me up right now like a blanket. So we'll be inviting them to share as well. So just a minute of love to Annie and to you guys and to everyone out there. Wrapping us in a little bubble. Okay. So we're calling in Annie. We're asking her to please join us for this reading. It is her show, but she's very happy to be the center of.
She's literally laying at the top of the closet now. It also doesn't do this. She's laying there like she's also meditating right now.
Yeah. Yeah. She's honing in. It's amazing how animals do that. They really do like zone in to communicate. So cool, balloons.
It's Annie-versary balloons.
Anniversary. All right, sweet Annie. So we're just inviting you to come in and just say hi and share a little bit about who you are now. Tell us a little bit about your personality in this present moment, who you are now that you've been living with everyone for your whole fam for the last year. And we're just going to start to share a little bit about who she is. And we'll get into your questions after that. Just give her the stage. Ooh. So I don't know you ladies, but I'll just pop right in with a quickie. She's so full of joy and so full of herself, but not in an egotistical way like a human being would be. She's just full of Annie-ness and very happy to be who she is. And kind of doesn't care what anyone thinks about it. You know, she's doing Annie her way. And it's almost like she's saying, don't put rules on me, moms. Hard to put rules on me because I'm just living life and just like taking it all in. So that's the initial feeling from her that I get when I first connect with her. It's this big, buoyant, happy, all Annie all the time in my own head type energy.
I got 2 things to poke in there.
Okay.
3 different. I spent the afternoon in front of the computer, got so much accomplished, but 3 different websites I went to, a folder popped up somewhere or a link popped up somewhere that said rules. And I was like, where did that even come from? What rules? I'm just looking at your website. I don't have to follow your rules. I'm not joining your Facebook group. And I didn't know where rules was coming from. There's some connection there, putting it out for you. But also, I'm so tickled at the 2 of you because the way you're looking up and watching her go around, we've all watched our babies, our cats, our dogs, whatever, spot a moth or a shadow or something else in the corners and watch it go around. And that's what you guys look like to me. There is such a connection to signs and symbols. And I'm going to go ahead and say assistance from the other side. There's something that's drawing you upwards that is touching your hearts tonight. It's not just Annie being cute up there, although she is being cute. She's got some folks backing her up.
Like out right now, like she doesn't do this, and she's just like, okay, we're gonna start. I'm gonna lay down. Like, what is this sound? Oh,
I don't know.
I'll tell you in a minute. It's me. It's for me, but I'll tell you what it is in a minute. Keep going.
But it's like she does know, like she's just
paws.
like her little fuzzy paws are hanging over, and she's, oh my God,
it's just precious.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's just being very present. This is very
Yeah.
special.
So everything that you were talking about on your podcast earlier this week was about the exchange of energy and how they really, really pick up on our energy and we pick up on theirs. That's what she's doing right now. She's grabbing the energy that's going on.
Yeah. She sure
Yeah.
does well.
And in a minute, she'll probably jump down and come parade back and forth in front of the camera just to get her moment of screen time.
Yeah.
Sounds about
Right
right.
now, she's loving the energy. Julie,
Yeah.
what do you have from?
Yeah. So on my end, well, first I'll share this. She was showing me herself and she kept singing Annie, Annie, Annie Posey, Ring Around the Rosie. And she was singing and like having all these flower rings around her. And what Karen was saying about the center of attention, she's getting joy from being in the center of attention, but not like Karen said, not egoistically, but just because it creates joy with everybody else too.
Oh,
And the noise you heard, because when Meredith, you said, I'm watching you watch your babies like this. Well, my dog Lucas had come into the room and his bed is underneath my desk. And so usually he crawls. So I was watching him for a little bit, just as you said that. And then he was digging in his bed, which he very rarely does. So there's something when he does that usually tells me because he works with me, right? And so he's telling me we're going to go deeper. We're going to go deeper. So there's something, we'll see where we go, but he's getting ready for all of it too. And he's also helping to ground the energy. So here, Lucas just wanted to make an appearance.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
I love this.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how's she doing?
So Annie, tell us about how you're doing now amidst your family. Wow, she is really loving life. She's very glad things are settled. Now, full disclosure, we all know, because we've all seen how much disturbance has been in your house with all the building and the bathroom and all that craziness. She is very glad that's all done, just so you know. Aren't we all, right? Aren't you all? But she in particular is very glad it's all done because for her perspective, she couldn't roam around the way she wanted to. She's telling me some of your kids were like, all right, fine. So I'll go sit over here and wait. I'm fine with that. But she was not so happy with the lack of freedom that it created compared to some of the other kids. Does that make sense to you guys? Did you notice that with her compared to the others?
Yeah. Well,
I
I mean,
mean-
she hasn't been, she like tonight, right? Like she is now starting to go downstairs and roam around the rest of the house and whatnot. Whereas when she was upstairs and where she normally stays upstairs, we don't have a huge upstairs area. So half of that is the master bedroom and the master bath and closet where it was all closed off. So there was only my office and our little guest room where we could go. So there was nowhere else for her to go and feel comfortable. And she didn't want to go downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, construction and people and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, there's definitely makes sense.
Okay.
So I hear her say, I'm loving the ladies. And so I asked her, are you talking about your moms? Are you talking about your sisters? And it feels more like she's talking about the female cats in the house. I know, historically speaking, you've had some question about how they were going to get along. There is some intermeshing of energies that they're working on right now. They're sort of figuring out, I'm not going to call it their pecking order because I don't really believe that they work that way, but they're figuring out the way that they interact. Like, she's showing me sort of playing hair and makeup with one somebody, and then the not literal, but symbolic climbing trees with somebody, like figuring out everyone's personalities and how they can all work together. And then she's also showing me a lot of green space. Like she wouldn't mind being a leash harness attempt to go walk around outside. But more than anything, she's showing me the ledge, like the kitchen window, surrounded by cat appropriate plants or grasses or something where she can just be in the green. I'm not feeling that she wants to go roam by any means, but she would like something earthy, green, planty to maybe ground, as you said, Julie, something just to feel in tune with the natural surroundings around her.
So we have, and I actually, it's funny because earlier today, I was like, I wonder if she's going to say anything about her green tree. So we have a cat tree that is literally it's got all of these like leaves that you attach it. So it looks
To the
like
platform. So
like
it's
the
like
different platforms, and it looks like a real tree, like ish. And she loves it. She stays there. She stays in that tree.
And she's camouflage.
And she feels camouflage, and she'll I feed her in the tree, and she sleeps on the tree, and she stays on that tree, and watches over us while we sleep. And she's I that's so funny, because as soon as you said green, I was like, that's what she's talking about. And she loves that little tree. But she also loves being downstairs, and she got to do some bird watching and stuff like that tonight too, which is great.
So I wonder, and y'all would be more the experts on this, if there are appropriate plants or grasses or something that you could add to her green tree or to the kitchen window.
Yep.
That wouldn't be harmful if she did decide to nibble on them. I'm feeling a bunch of tension right here in the back of my jaw that makes me feel like I want to chew. And in fact, it's making me feel like I want to chew meat, which is funny because I'm a 40+ year vegetarian, but there's something that I want to literally dig my teeth into to release some tension right here for whatever that's worth. That's a feeling that I've got in my body.
That's why she's always so nibbly with us.
Mhm. It could be, yeah.
What about you, Julie?
Well, when you first asked the question, how is she feeling about things? She just said, and I don't know anything really about rap music, but she said Notorious B.I.G. And I don't know I don't want to get into any kind of war or anything, but anyway, that's what she said. She feels like she's Notorious B.I.G.
I love that.
She's got attitude. There was something else too. Oh, also about the she's actually was saying too about the bathroom and all the remodeling and reconstruction in the house and whatnot. She's actually really happy with both of you are actually feeling a little and there's been a big weight off your shoulders too. And she's because addition to what Meredith and Karen were saying about the girls and whatnot and the level of stress in the house, but also from both of you. And that she's and we're starting to get into the groove of things and starting to really kind of, enjoy everything that's going on around us. Yeah. Very happy. Very happy.
So now that said, as soon as you guys started talking about her and the girls and her relationship with the girls, which is Friday and Madison, we know, she did make it very clear to me, Friday is the boss. Now, it's really interesting because she shows me Friday with a really, a very strong, focused energy. Friday can be very strong. I don't know how to explain this. It's like when she fixates on something or focuses on something,
it's done.
Get out of her way.
Yeah.
Now,
that is good.
Right? So she's got this strong focus where Annie's energy is more like, la. So she has the capacity, what she was showing me is she has the capacity to manage Friday most of the time and to kind of work around Friday without it upsetting her. But she will, and she's going right to peeing on your peeing on stuff. If Friday gets too pushy, she kind of messes with her by messing things up, is what she told me. And when I said to her, what about sweet Madison? And she said, she's getting there. She's Maddie. She calls her Maddie. So she's calling her Maddie in my head, not Madison. And she's like, Maddie's getting there. And some of her antics, Madison's all kind of enthralled with. Madison's just like, what are you, girl, what are you doing? Madison's kind of head side to the side going, what are you doing?
Why?
It's kind of fascinated by it. And in some ways is a good energetic padding between Friday and Annie's a good energetic padding sometimes between Friday and Madison. Although if Friday gets too focused and trying to manage everything, it does throw Annie, especially when it comes to you, Jay.
Hmm.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah,
Oh,
it definitely
so
does.
much sense.
What's so interesting is that we were paying like super close attention to this whole spraying situation, and then the relationship between specifically her and Friday. And it's so interesting because it kind of seems the other way around, like maybe it's just like because of like hindsight's what I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but where Annie pees somewhere, she sprays somewhere, and to us it seems like that pisses off Friday, and then she'll start going after her, and we're like, baby girl, you just have to realize not to pee, and then she won't. But if she's doing it like because of Friday, then it's like a vicious cycle kind of thing maybe that's happening.
And
That's what it felt to me anyway.
for Madison, I think it's fascinating because Madison definitely seems still with Friday. She's getting along fine with Friday these days.
Oh, okay.
Fascinating.
Right.
Very few little it's like they kind of want to play, but then someone goes too far. But it's not at all the way it kind of used to be. But Annie Bell does this crazy, like when she sees Maddie, she does this crazy like wildcat move. She goes with her head and she like goes up like it is. And Madison does. She sits there and looks at her like, "What you doing, girl?" But Maddie still seems a little bit like, I don't even want to mess with that. Do not want to mess with that. And so, and Annie will chase her. Like if Madison comes upstairs, Annie will chase her downstairs. Yeah. There's never really like a crazy fight, but it's like there is some crazy energy and very different. Like you nailed it. The different energy between Annie and Friday. Friday is the boss, and Annie and Madison.
Yeah.
Madison is slightly entertained.
That's so funny.
So I know we've told you before that so rarely do I actually remember the information that comes out in a reading.
Right.
I remember reading for Madison Grace last week, and I also just listened to it again on the podcast when it came out. Remember, it was all about her gaining confidence and building confidence and being all like, here I am, here I am. Well, probably the very first time I met you, one of the very first times I read for you, Friday came in like, she's like somebody out of the original Superman comic book. I don't know if anyone remembers this, like very 1940s in stockings with the seam down the back and chunky Mary Jane heels and a very put together, powerful, like I saw her in the newspaper room, like heading up the department, but not having the full respect of it because at that time females didn't really do that sort of thing. So as Karen's talking about her personality, her being the boss, I see her completely stacked up, full like girdle, stockings, all of the things that you would see a woman of that era wearing, but in such a position of power in that newsroom. Yeah. And then Annie being almost the comic relief, getting under Friday's skin and Friday going, but I'm the boss. So that retaliation, Madison saying, you're being nasty, so I'm going to go pee over here. And then Friday getting mad that she called her out on it. And then Madison stepping up and going, oh, I'm getting this confidence. Can I dance like that? Can I boss like that? Can I do any of those things? So they're kind of, you see what I'm saying? They're sort of figuring out this interaction. That's so interesting. And I can't believe I even remember that about Friday. That was years ago.
I know. I can't believe you did either. And it wasn't until you just said it. I was like, oh my God, I remember that too. Yeah. Crazy. But it is definitely like these girls, we were like just so stressed about them for all the different issues that they had between each other. Like first it was Friday and Madison, and then it was Madison and Annie, and then it was Annie and Friday. And then it was just like all of this stuff and things. But as we now like sit back and kind of watch it, it's really interesting to see them figuring things out. It's not always that they're going to fight. It's not always that they're going to, so it's real interesting.
I think to
watch and like stop having rules, I guess.
This has got to be a little bit of a season. You can see the girls really testing boundaries with each other, exploring different time together in different ways. It's fascinating to watch their body language. Even today, Madison was out in the shop, snuggled up next to me, and Annie came out and she was going to do her little thing, and Maddie looked at her and did her little thing, and then she just lays down like she's the boss of the shop. She just stretched out like, okay, like I'm not going to bother you. I'm just going to sit here. Like, I don't know. It just feels very interesting to watch them. Oh my
She has
gosh.
quite the personality.
Yes.
Yes.
What else do you want to ask them? Ask Annie, only
Annie.
because Annie she said I could talk about the boys, because she's like, well, clearly we've got the the spring and whatnot wrapped up, but she keeps wanting me to talk about Jack, who I know I talked with. Okay, cool. cool.
This Jack right here.
Because that's who I talked with on the podcast too. And she was saying she was showing me herself as one of those girls who is just more comfortable with like hanging out with the guys. Like sure, dramas with the girls. Yeah, you guys do what you need to do, is what I'm hearing her say. But she's just like, she was really focusing on Jack when she was talking about the boys. But so she just that's what she wanted to share, is she just likes hanging out with them. She's more comfortable, is what I'm hearing her say.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's so funny because like from the very beginning, you could tell just by even her strut and how she approached, or how the boys approached her versus the girls approached her, how she reacted to being in the room with them, that she was our little tomboy. Like, like, since our girly girl, Friday's our
the
boss.
Mhm.
And she's like the little tomboy, and her and Jack have so much fun together.
I'd be curious to see what she has to say about Jack.
Yeah.
Well,
But I don't know if to ask one at a time or.
yeah. I mean, I'll
let's
just
go around. Yeah, go for it, Julie. You say first, and then I'll.
Because earlier I was asking her, what else do you want us to know? Because I was kind of focusing on the urination. She's like, I'd rather talk about Jack. And she just shows me the two of them. Like, so if I'm Annie and this is my right arm, she shows me her right arm interlocked with his left, and that she's using the word peers, like, and equals, and like, he's my brother, kind of and also like, then as she says that, then she wraps her arm around his body and starts to give him a noogie, and just like that kind of a thing. But he gives it back to her, is what she's telling me. And they're just like she's using the word compadre. They're just like, he's my, like, it's not romantic. It's like brother, sister, equals, really good friends. And he's the one. She's like, he's the one I turn to when I just need a friend to like put my head on on a shoulder and hang out with. That's what I'm hearing her say. It just feels really good. Really good. Grounded too. Yeah. Sorry, Karen, go ahead.
No, I was getting the same thing. It's so funny because she was saying, Jack's my buddy. Jack's my boy. And Jack understands her in a way and has a soft spot for her. So she was making me sense and feel how easy he is with her, and how chill they are together, and how he is just so warm with her. But it's so weird because she brought me back to, remember that show? Was it Stranger Things? Where all the little kids, like, in the upside down world. But before they all started like actually having the hots for each other when they were actually young, there was one that was really good friends with 11, or what the heck her number was, or 7, or whatever the heck her number was, Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
So when she's showing me that she and Jack have that kind of like best buddy relationship before anybody started having actual crushes on each other, like from Stranger Things. And I was like, yeah, that's the kind of, like, they can beat each other up and save each other and go play in the mud together, and nobody's going to kill each other. But and the male kid in the show was just like, I'll be there for you. And that's how she was showing me her and Jack as just an example, a metaphor for their friendship.
Oh.
Karen, that's hilarious because I also picked up a little Stranger Things. I started out with seeing them in black and white in old timey clothes, like little rascals.
Yep. Oh yeah,
and
that's
then
good
it kind
too.
of like faded out and faded back into Stranger Things with their relationship with 11. And then it faded out and faded back into, I think it's the remake of It, actually, where the one girl was in the middle of, just they were kind of like a gang, like a band of brothers, if you will.
Mhm.
So that's funny.
Oh, that's a riot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so spot
Do you
on
know
because her
what's-
and Jack really are. And what's really funny is when you guys started talking about Jack,
He went
he
up.
jumped up and went right over to her and
She
was
just like stretched and was like,
she just
yeah,
stretched out like, dude, I'm talking to people.
And he was like, okay, fine.
You know what's fascinating though is that Jack, as anyone who knows Jack knows, he has so many nicknames. One of them is Jackass. One of them is Cracker Jack. Like he goes hard in the paint, this boy. And so with Friday and with Madison, sometimes he just pushes the envelope with them to where they're like, oh, stop
They'll
it.
take
And they'll
it.
hiss at him. And it's like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, babe, they're not having fun anymore. Like, chill.
Stop.
Just pump your brakes, bro.
Not with Annie.
Never once has that happened with Annie. And Annie is the sensitive, like twirling dervish if Friday comes anywhere near
Friday
her.
looks
Right?
at her wrong.
Right. And she's like, oh my God. But Jack, I'm talking about you. Jack and her go hard in the paint together. It's just so, it's it's funny. We're talking about losing our boys last year. They were such a powerfully bonded pair.
Yeah.
And while we know that Zorro and Friday have a very special bond, we've not really seen a bond like we've seen growing with Jack and Annie.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's really cute.
It is. It is. It's,
beautiful.
it's super sweet. So let's can we ask her why or if there's anything that we could do to help stop her from spraying all over my desk?
Okay.
Is there a non-rule that we could make?
We won't have to set a rule, like, but
Or
is there
maybe just ask her,
anything-
is this gonna be a forever thing? What
Okay.
does she need
go
from
out
us?
of it?
All
All right, Annie.
From us to help.
All right, Annie. So we want to. What do we need to know? First of all, what do we need to know about why you're spraying on Jay's desk? Because there's obviously a soul level lesson in there if this is happening. So what do we need to know about it so that things can evolve and change?
Sorry,
What are they doing? Look at them all.
Friday decided she wanted to go up and visit
She
Annie.
said, since we're going to talk about this, I'm going to go up and show my.
Is it interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Annie can't focus if you are.
All right. Annie. So what do we want to know? What can we? What do you want to share about spraying on Jay's desk? Okay, Julie, you're laughing. You go first.
I am laughing. Because the first thing I hear her say is a little less work, Mom. A little more play. It's the first thing I hear her say. And that's what made me giggle, because then she's starting to make me giggle. A little less work, Mom. A little more play. It's the first thing. So Karen or Meredith, I don't know if you're getting anything similar. There's a lot of stress on that desk. I know you work really long hours, Jay, but there's like so much energy and stress on that desk. Like I can feel my shoulders get really tight and just this kind of energy about it. And she's like, we need to stop. And I also hear her say like ruining papers in an effort to like, can't do this. And you can't work with this anymore. And it has to go.
She literally peed in the printer. We were having vendor checks, and that did not go well.
Only imagine. I am so sorry.
You can tell that none of us want to laugh, but we want to laugh. So.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing out loud.
Yeah.
So first of all, that printer sucks. We're done with that one. Let's get a more efficient printer, right? Julie's talking about the stress on the desk. I'm seeing the piles on the desk. I'm seeing here's the stack of things that need to get done, but it keeps getting pushed aside because it's not quite as important as this other stack of things that need to get done. And, oh, where's that receipt for that thing I need to return? It's underneath that. Oh, now it's got P on it. You know, there's a little bit of a
Oh my God.
disorganizational structure that it's time to stop, take a break, have a 2-day staycation that actually involves organizing all the stuff on the desk. And I saw your reel about the pee pads. You know, you had found the solution, and she immediately came and tore it off, and she was like, "Not that clever, Mom." No.
I know.
Yeah,
No.
I got the same thing, Meredith. As soon as I said to her, "So why are you peeing on the desk?" I'm like, "What's the point?" And she's like, "Well," I said, "Why pee?" She's like, "Well, if I pee, they have to get rid of everything that's on that desk."
Mm-hmm.
And make room for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We all know that vomit would work a little bit, but it's not nearly as effective
It's pee.
as pee.
Probably.
We'd be more worried if she was
Yeah.
vomiting.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah. She
We
Yeah.
was.
already had her check for the pee stuff. She's
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so interesting because because she does tell me that. I don't get that with her pee. I get like, why are you doing this? Stop! Like right in front of me. She's just like, "Hi, what do you mean?" And I was like, no. And she's like, "What?" Like it's no big deal. And but every time, like when I'm sitting at my desk, she comes up and she walks over my computer. If I'm on my phone or typing, she puts her head in my hands. She like stops me. Like she literally
have her hands.
stops me from being able to finish whatever it is that I'm teaching. And I always try to like trick her, be like, "Okay, I can type with my left hand and rub you with my right," instead of just like stopping and giving. Adrian's so good at that. Adrian is very good at like
Jack taught me that
when any of the cats need attention, she can stop everything and just focus on the situation at hand, be present with the cats. I am not as good at that.
Yeah.
So that's a great lesson for me.
I was actually about to use those exact words.
Mhm.
There's every now and then you got to stop and just take a breath. Karen, Julie, we were talking about this today with Karen's number showing up on her phone. It's just an instant interrupter to stop and go, you know, like your watch will sometimes make the little sound, your mindfulness bell. Stop and take 3 deep breaths. Take that moment to be present. It's an interrupter for you. And petting her with one hand and keeping working with the other one, you're not paying attention to what she's trying to interrupt, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've also just got to throw this in there. There's something about that particular piece of furniture, back to this whole energy exchange.
Mm-hmm.
There's something tied to the energy of that particular piece of furniture that needs a letting go of. It needs a cleansing, a clearing, or a complete replacement.
Yeah, I was getting that too.
Me
Yeah.
too.
And the way that it's coming through to me is as if it's got multiple drawers and, you know, I could see myself being so excited. Oh my gosh, look, it's got 2 sides of file drawers where hanging files can go. And I'm going to file all my stuff. And then I fill those files with stuff and I never go back into them and I never reorganize them. And I run out of the little labels. So I get a sticky note and I label it with that. And in my desire to be organized, I've just created a place where the stuff goes to disappear. And it's full of a weight of something, an energy that came in from somewhere else. I don't know.
Yeah.
It needs something. It needs some cleaning.
Yeah. If you can cleanse it like with sage or whatever's appropriate, or even crystals or what. So I don't know. That's all stuff. It gets a little bit, I know enough to be dangerous, but it does need some type of energetic cleansing, the desk itself. I was getting that too, Mare. Yeah.
That's very interesting. You know what's really interesting? And I know exactly what that is. It's my I bought it. Now I'm really proud of this desk because I had it custom made. I spent like thousands of dollars on it back when I started my first business. I was working a full-time job and it was like 2009 or 2010. And I went down to the desk store where they custom make these desks and stuff. And so I had it all made. But the heaviness, and you're right. It's not like I pride myself on being really organized.
She has
But
no
my
like sticky
office-
notes. They are all perfectly noted.
And they're in
And
alphabetical
today,
order.
in one of our meetings, we had to go back and find something from like 6 years ago. And she was like, here it is.
Yeah. Well, so
I mean, it took a little bit
some
longer.
things. However, you know what I also did, because I was going through looking for some paperwork, and I found the insurance write up for the last company that we worked for, which is the heaviness. And I still had I still have all of their business. Like I was like CFO, marketing manager, all these things. And I had everything
Mm.
in that desk.
And she's
Or
been having
do.
dreams about
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
the heaviness.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Here-
got nauseated as you were
Mm.
talking about the insurance
Mhm.
file.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to interject here because Oliver Twist is hanging out with this topic,
Oh,
with Annie, and I think he's instigating some of this, not to ask Annie to pee, but to ask Annie to help.
Hmm.
For you, Jay. This is a big soul lesson for you, because he's saying you're so hard on yourself, and when you're at that desk, you're really hard on yourself, and really kind of remove yourself from yourself a lot of times, which he never liked, because he was always the one trying to ground everybody and bring them back. And he's like, you need to make room for new. And Annie's job is to help you make space for new by helping get rid of by peeing on everything. So you have to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's saying renewal. Stop pushing yourself away and start renewing yourself.
And she's part of the renew. She's part of the new,
Yeah.
whatever the new things are coming.
Mhm.
She's the one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy is I'm just remembering that Oliver Twist used to pee on my desk too.
Okay, I'm getting so many chills.
Absolutely.
Didn't really smell that bad.
Mhm.
And I would be like, well, nobody else will come and mark it if he just marks it because it's his little spot.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Mhm.
So we've talked about this, that because he's the one that delivered Annie to you, they are so entwined that we've talked about this in the past, that sometimes souls that are such soul family and so entwined can sometimes kind of like move through another being for a little bit. And there are times where he is literally like a little bit entwining with her to get a point across to you, because he sent her to continue his job, but from the perspective of Annie's personality as opposed to his.
And Jay, Annie wants also to say that as part of this homework, if you will, when she interrupts you, when you're at the desk, doing the different things that you mentioned, she really also wants you to check in with what it is you're thinking about at that moment. And the swirl, if you see like this little hamster wheel that's going on in your head, what is that? Like, because as Meredith and Karen were saying, like that break, but also understand what it is that's got you a little riled up, because it feels like you're not necessarily recognizing how riled up and how tight even you are. And so to create some awareness around that thought process, that cage that's creating in your head, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Okay. Wow.
Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Oh.
letting things flow, renewal, making more space for stuff,
Mhm.
emptying out stuff, all bladder, kidney stuff, right? Will, seat of the soul. The kidney is the kidney energy is the seat of the soul, like the seat of the will, and finding a place of stillness. And so there's a lot tied to this urination thing and forcing you guys to have to clean stuff up and let stuff flow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like every time it's like, hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me.
I mean, we've always known that there are best
We've
teachers.
always known that you're the problem, Jay.
Oh my God.
Our pets are our best teachers.
They really are.
But it's so hard to
Mhm.
understand
Yeah.
the lessons sometimes. But this is crazy, especially with some of the vivid dreams that Jay's been having.
Lately.
Oh.
Literally all basically tied to the heaviness of the desk. It is
Whoa.
It's
Okay.
really easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wow, didn't know that this is going to come up here.
Do you
but
think, ladies, do you think there's a way to like cleanse? Because that dust does cost more than both of our cars combined. So just
Mhm.
like we can't have that expense now, right?
Oh no, you can. Well, I see JR in the comments suggested selenite. And again, I don't know enough about crystals or whatnot, or saging if that's even appropriate with cats and whatnot. But you can sage. Set the intention that you're allowing that you're cleansing the desk.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then sage it or selenite. Yeah. So
There's
Mhm.
also a bit of this kind of cleansing that has to happen too. When you were talking about the desk, how proud you were of having it custom made because you had reached a certain point in in a space, in a career space that you were so proud of. It feels to me that there's something about it that represents striving to, okay, I'm just going to say the words as they're coming to me. Striving to be, to appear to be something that you're not.
Oh, I'm gonna start.
And having an appearance of importance, of title, of expense, of something. And then here comes Annie walking in going,
No,
I'm
just piss
Annie.
on it.
I'm Annie and all my Annie-ness.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to be anybody and I'm not even trying to be Oliver Twist, but he's kind of helping me along here. Be aware of yourself. Be that difference we've talked about between being proud of yourself and being prideful.
Mhm.
Allowing yourself to say, I can be proud of myself and not have to try and appear to be something
Right.
to anyone. Because
Yeah.
if I do that, I'm just going to piss on it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
That's
but you're
crazy.
spot on as far as like when I first got it. Now
The
it's like fits
genesis
in a
of
little
that.
in a tiny little room. Nobody ever sees my desk except for me. But when I first got this desk, it was like
Right.
I made it to 6 digits, right? Like I'm going to show everybody, and I had it in our home, like I had it like all really nice, and then in the next place I had it showcased in the foyer area, and I was like, this is my and it was it was like a fake it till you make it type mindset that I was in at that time for sure.
Well, think about how much change comes involuntarily. Like your new closet, bedroom, bathroom is so fabulous. You weren't choosing to do any of those things, but as you said, the house broke down and you had to.
Right.
You had to do those things at that time. And now how wonderful and clean and does it feel?
Yeah.
So, you got a cat peeing in your printer, you got a cat peeing on your desk. You're being involuntarily forced to do some remodeling
Yeah. I think
inside your head, inside your heart. And you've got such an amazing community that I'm sure you'll have people that'll give you suggestions of, crystals and herbs and sage and Palo Santo and whatever the things are can fix this desk. But it's going to be up to you to fix the head and the heart, right?
yeah.
And Jay, you said something about it being in a corner or in a plate, like it doesn't necessarily get a lot of light or fresh air. Is that true? It needs
Well-
something like that too, is what I'm feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has it's a tiny room that it's in like the corner of the house. It has a window and it gets, and now that we're like hitting the like spring, it gets the stupid sun where you're like, I have to close it because it's going to like burn my computer and my whatever. But I have had in my mind that I wanted to reorganize, like just go through, throw away all this stuff. Like, and I would feel so much better in that room because for me, it like actually physically cleaning an area, organizing something helps me feel more centered and feel more fresh.
So you'll have a renewal. I'm circling from Oliver Twist.
Although I do feel like there's something big new coming. I don't know if you guys were getting that from Annie too, but when you said that opening up, Annie's like, yeah, I'm bringing in this whole, like there's something. And I know the astrological energies for May and June are supposed to be super awesome, but like I just see this big thing, something good for both your business coming to make room for, but you need to make room for it. That's how it feels to me. I don't know if you guys are feeling that too, but
yeah. And I'm going to step in and say, add a plant. Those green plants Annie was talking about.
There you go. Yep.
Open that window if you can. Add a plant. Bring
Mhm.
some living life into that space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm excited.
This is
One of my
intense.
favorite things in the world is organizing things. And I've just like, that's always like the last, it's not that I dread it. It's that it's, last on the list to,
It's
it's just,
prioritized.
it's not a priority. So I'm glad she's.
You mean like taking care of yourself is
Yourself?
last on the list? Jay?
Correct.
Is
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Karen
so
and I both saw that right away. Yeah.
But there's also something here. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Oliver Twist and Pooh Bear are like bearing down on me right now as we talk about this renewal and reconnection, making room for new, and making sure that you guys are staying true to that renewal, reconnection, making room for each other and Annie and the other fur kids first before anything else. First.
Like
Right.
they're
So,
the
you know,
grounding, right? It's like
Yeah.
the family of 7 is the grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pooh Bear's really hanging out here going, remember when he was like, when there was that whole situation going on where they were like, come on, Pooh Bear, do something, say something.
Yes.
Right. And so they're both coming back saying, well, I am saying something. I can say what I want now. I'm in spirit. And they're both those boys are saying for you guys first, for each other, with the kids, with the space, everything you do, remember you first. And everyone else will get in line. And if they don't, too bad. Right? Everything else will fall in place. But don't allow that desk to become, the piles on that desk to become such a burden that you forget what's most important, which is you guys first.
Yeah.
Clean off the stuff that gets in the way of that,
Yeah.
Wow.
Did y'all see the thumbs up that showed up in front of Adrian and she didn't even have her finger up?
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Oliver Twist and Pooh Bear.
Probably Pooh Bear. I had the most vivid dream about Pooh Bear the other night. And he just keeps and in much the same way that Annie will do something or sit a certain way, and it's like, oh my God, Oliver Twist. Like she does so many things that keeps him so present to us. And Pooh Bear has been showing up
In her dreams.
and
Yep. I'm not surprised.
I'm not either.
So much, and I know that this is so incredible to connect with our babies, and I feel like you guys are such a gift because it helps us better understand. It can become something that is part of a frustration in the day instead of an invitation to elevate.
Right. Yeah.
At that moment instead, and I feel like we've been getting so many, and we're surrounded by such beautiful humans. Everyone here that's joining us tonight, you guys are so powerful. We have friends and family that just are. It's a beautiful thing, and I feel like, this is the deep breath.
Yeah,
this is,
yeah, it is. But I mean, you're totally right. Like, I mean, we have so many beautiful people in our lives, and we do stay in this like gratitude realm of always being so grateful for all the beautiful people and our beautiful babies and things like that. But we like lately it's been, we're gonna have it like so and so wants to hang out, and then so and so wants to hang out, and then so and so wants to hang out, and then so and so wants to hang out, and we haven't had our phones down Sunday in a month and a half, and we haven't like we aren't spending any time with just us because it's always filled with someone else or work, right? And so it's like, and they're always higher priority than us just taking a break and just doing us.
And Annie's the Oliver Twist and Pooh Bear, but also Annie are saying, take a moment and ask us first. Like to really look at them as like your partners in life, as opposed to the cats that you care for, which you guys know this, but
Yeah.
at some point it's like, wow, look at the amazingness of Annie as a being who lives inside that furry, beautiful body.
Yeah.
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 You know, to take a look at each of them and say, what is next for all of us, you know, and just let them know you're contemplating including them delivering information to you in a way that you might not have thought of before, so that they don't have to always get into the cat antics to get you to pay attention.
Yeah. Oh my
I
gosh.
love that.
You guys are so amazing. I know we're out of time. We're past an hour.
No,
now.
I looked at the clock a minute
No.
ago and I thought it said 37 minutes. And then I just thought,
It says
go
1
to an
hour.
hour.
we're you guys, this has been absolutely amazing.
Oh, I don't want it to be over. This
Well, let's
is
give you one last comment from each. Like that was I would say my last comment from Annie and Oliver Twist and Pooh Bear was that. So Meredith and Julie, do you have anything last that you want to like add from them, just as kind of a final message for the evening?
I see Annie now. She looks like Annie Oakley. You know, she's rip roaring, and it's like she just threw open. I was going to say a gate, a door, but it's actually like a cattle gap. You know, and just shoved everybody through it. And she's like, "There you go. It's right there. Here's the message." But she's kind of being an equal opportunity too. She's like, "Adrian, next time we'll talk about you.
You got some lessons too.
Picking on Jay tonight." No.
that's so fair.
Yeah. No, she's going to be a joy. She's already been a joy, but she delivers her messages in a pretty straightforward way.
Yeah.
Julie?
And she just wants to, what she's sharing with me is flowers and giving them actually a bouquet to both of you, Jay and Adrian, as thanks for celebrating. Thanks for taking the time to celebrate me and celebrate all of this and what we're creating together. And so she does the prayer hands and puts them up to her third eye and just thank you. Thanks for holding space with me. And she's thanking everybody else that's here too. She's just so happy to have been Notorious B.I.G. for a hot second is what I hear her say.
I think I'm gonna have Alexa play Notorious B.I.G.
Cool.
I think what a beautiful thing, because I feel like Jay is hands down the captain of our ship. She is the brain, the business, the everything. She has the intuition, all the stuff and things. And I feel like it is so important. You know, it might feel like,
to stay in.
Well, to be. She's trying to come down for her last camera shot. You want to come down, baby girl? Come on. But I do feel like this was so important because we didn't think this had anything to do with Jay's kind of vivid dreams and just how much she's been evaluating internally.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like our babies always know how to prioritize. And this has been a really big hit the nail on the head moment.
Yeah.
And I love thinking of them all as our partners.
Me too.
They are the reason we do what we do. And I feel
Yeah.
like it's so extraordinary to have
Yeah.
that bold confirmation.
Yeah.
Oh.
There she comes.
In her own
So
way.
Yeah.
thank you guys so much for this beautiful anniversary, for celebrating it with us, for helping us put it all together. You guys are so amazing, and all of you guys that joined.
Thank you.
I can't thank you guys enough for being so
Yeah.
awesome. So, all right, that's gonna wrap up this episode of Back in the Closet with the Two Crazy Cat Ladies. We're gonna help Annie get down, and we will see you guys very soon. We love you all so much. Thank you so much for joining us.
Guys. Oh, wait. Before we go,
Yes. Oh, yes.
can we talk about tomorrow really quick? Because for everyone joining us
Okay.
right now,
Yes.
it's like, wait, don't let them go.
Okay.
But-
So really quick for whoever's listening still and watching. Tomorrow night, if you liked what you saw and you would like the chance to have a very mini version of this, an 8 to 10 minute version of this, we are going to be doing an online fundraising event for Nika Love, NICA Love. And you can go to their website, nikalove.org, or you can go to the Animal Communication Collective.com website or any one of our Instagrams, and you'll see the promotion where you can click through to buy a fundraising ticket. It's $25. to come to the event. We'll be live. We'll be able to see you. It'll be Zoom like Brady Bunch scene, so we'll see everyone. And we'll be picking from the audience to do these live readings. And 100% of the proceeds are going to go to Nika Love founder Julie Burke, who has built this amazing sanctuary in Nicaragua for animals in need. So we hope that you will come and support her and support us and keep helping the cats and the dogs and the horses that she's also taking care of.
Oh, so
Mhm.
beautiful.
Oh, I love it so much.
Yay.
You give Nika
Yeah.
love tomorrow too.
Yes. Yes.
We will.
Okay. All right. So thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
everyone that joined us.
yeah, we will
We'll see you
see
guys
you all
soon.
very soon. Mwah.
Good night.